Hello everyone, this is Mr. Steimer here. I'm going to continue reading Falling in Love with the Slender Man, Chapter 2. Before we get started, I want you guys to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. She woke up with a start, gasping for air, filling her burning lungs. She was rewarded with a huff of damp air. Her eyes flickered open and found that the walls around her were made of concrete, and so was the floor. She was in the basement then. She groaningly sat up. Her back aches, presumably from sleeping on the hard ground for who knows how long. How did this happen? How did she got here? She couldn't remember. She noticed a figure in the shadows slinging in a chair. "Who's there?" she asked tremblingly. A chuckle came from the corner. Slowly, a man emerged from the darkness. He was wearing a black tailored rec suit with a rose pin into the lip, and his hair was cropped short in midnight black. His eyes appeared to match the color of his hair. He had simply white skin. He shook his head and as he peered down at her. "The question is, who are you?" he asked, a bittersweet tone. Who was she? All that she knew that she was Elizabeth Sage Brown, though she preferred going by Sage. She was 17 years old. Her hair was pale shade of blonde, and her skin was like flying porcelain. A small dust of freckles plattered on her cheeks and nose. Her eyes were almost catching the figure that she had. They were the color of emeralds, that they were lining with her long dark lashes. A hint of hazel could be found in them, though they were most likely green. "Not talking today, little dove?" the man above her bellowed. She glanced up at him and rose to her feet, and she looked down at herself and saw that someone had obviously changed her clothes. She was wearing a white flowing dress that complemented her small waist. It fit just barely above her knees, and her shoulders were completely bare. She felt far too exposed. "Who are you?" she asked again, in a more firm tone. The man convict from this for a second, and then looked at her full in the face. "I am Ash," he told her slowly. Sage looked at him and judged that the truth of his words. "That's not your real name, is it?" she asked him. He shrugged his shoulders. "Does it really matter? That what you can call me? Fine. Ash, where are we?" Sage asked him immediately. "No, my little dove, I told you my name. Now you tell me yours." As Ash said, her eyes narrowed. "But that's not your real name. Why should I tell you my real name?" she challenged. "Fine. If I were to tell you my real name, would you freak out?" "I can't have my little dove trying to fly away." "Fine," she grumbled. "I'm Elizabeth." "And why should she have to tell him or her real name?" He shook his head. "Do you really go by Elizabeth?" Her mouth popped open in shock. How can he sense that she lied? Sage was a brilliant liar. It was like the second nature to her. "You see, Dove, I already know your name. I've done my research, and I do not enjoy liars." She lifted her chin stubbornly. "It's Elizabeth. Elizabeth is my name. I may not go by it, but it is my name. And if you don't have to tell the truth, then I shouldn't either." Sage. Sage is your name, he started. How did I get here? She asked him, challenging the subject. He paused, his full, pale lips. You don't remember. Perhaps things are turning to my favor. Did you kidnap me? She asked angrily. There was a loud crack of pain across her right cheek. She was startled in both of her hands and stared at Ash, who just slapped her. Why did you hit me? She sneered, backing away. I saved you, he said, barely containing his anger. You will not disrespect me in that way you have. Then why were you lying to me? Don't you think I deserve to know what happened? And if you didn't kidnap me, then why am I trapped in your basement? She shot the string of disappointment, disrespectful questions at him, discarding his warning. A slow smile grew on his face. Humans will always remain mysteries to me, he said underneath his breath. Sage was shocked. Was this man not human? No, that was impossible. She did not believe those things. Answer my question, she demanded of her captor. You are a brave girl, Sage. He reached his hand out and curled a white, long lock of her hair along with his slimming fingers. Eventually your memories will return and then you will have your answer. She jerked away from him. Tell me. His eyes were half shut as he leaned into her and smiled. The fragrant scent of lilac and rose. He caught himself in the act and pulled away. I'm sorry, my dear Sage. I must go. Wait, she yelled. You can't leave me here. I will not stay here with these unlivable conditions. He had sighed. Fine. Close your eyes. She continued to stare at him. Just do it. She groaned and slowly let her eyes lids close. The moment that later he had said open them. She did as asked and found that she was no longer in a small, damp basement. She was now in a surprise room painted with soft blue. It had furniture, a large bed, a table, and a chair. A TV set on the corner, and there was no door which led to the bathroom. How did you do that? She gasped. I shall not reveal my secrets to you, he said, and then he was gone.